Seafood is a pretty common ingredient in the culinary world. However, that's where the commonalities end for Chef Richie Farina. Pairing that seafood with seaweed and liquid nitrogen is where Farina jumps off the beaten path. He's one of an elite group of chefs who excel in the culinary field of molecular gastronomy.
My interpretation of molecular is changing the normal state in which you're used to seeing something. So, instead of it being lemon juice, well, it's lemon foam, or it's a lemon curd, or it's a lemon encapsulation. It's something that you associate with the flavor of lemon, but you might not recognize it as lemon.
Despite its recent rise in popularity within the foodie community, molecular gastronomy is something that many people are still unfamiliar with. However, even though it's escaped the attention of many, the key players in molecular gastronomy are not waiting for others to catch on. They're constantly moving forward, creating and pushing the barriers.
A lot of the pastries that we do here at Moto kind of irk a memory that you have of being like a child. I like to kind of play with the heartstrings of everybody.
Farina is the head chef at world-famous 2-Michelin star restaurant Moto. He sees the future of molecular gastronomy as focusing on the presentation of the food and increasingly getting better and better at mimicking nature in order to create memories, evoke emotion, and ignite all the senses of the guest.
As far as new techniques in molecular gastronomy, I kind of think a lot of it's been discovered already. Trying to incorporate your senses and creative thinking into the molecular world, I think is kind of where it's going. It's more about all the techniques have been discovered, I think, already. Now it's just taking the techniques that we have and trying to go as far over the top with presentation or experience to the guests.
Chef Richie Farina believes the only limitation in the field of molecular gastronomy is fear. He encourages his staff to let that fear go and create without boundaries.
We had a dish a couple years ago called The River, where we had a little vase filled with a bunch of river rocks. I put some wheatgrass stems in it to make it look like reeds coming out of the river. A little bit of water in the bottom, and then we did river fish. So it was like sturgeon, trout, and salmon, all cold smoked and cured in-house. We then covered the whole thing with a plastic wrap on top and filled it with smoke. And I think anyone that wants to snuff creativity is scared of the future.
Farina says there's room in the future for young chefs as well. Even the most creative dishes can always be improved upon. Molecular gastronomy has already pushed the cooking envelope in so many ways. There's really no limit to how far innovative dining can be taken in the future. In Fulton Market, Meryl DeRezzo, Medill reports.